welcome to our deep dive. You guys, you shared some really great sources on natural pain relief, and I am excited to explore them with you.
Hmm.
It's pretty amazing, actually, like how much attention holistic pain management is getting these days right.
Definitely. It really does speak to, I think, a growing desire to move beyond just masking symptoms,
Yeah.
which is, a core principle of holistic pain management. It's about treating the whole person, not just the physical.
Right. So it's not just reaching for a pill bottle, right?
Yeah.
You're really trying to understand all of the factors. And one of the things that I thought was interesting is that emotions and like mental well-being,
Mm.
like it can actually impact pain.
Absolutely.
And I don't think people always realize that. It's not just about like the physical sensation.
Not at all. I mean, think about it. Stress can make your back ache worse.
Right.
And then anxiety can amplify headaches. So holistic pain management, recognizes that mind-body connection. It's
Yeah.
really important.
Okay, so before we get too far, I think it's important for us to all be on the same page about the different types of pain that we might be dealing with.
Sure.
Right. Because there's acute pain and then there's chronic pain, and it can get a
Yeah,
little
that's
confusing. Yeah. So you've got acute pain, which is that short, sharp burst of pain. Think that, like sprained ankle, something like that. It's your body's alarm system. Like,
Yeah.
hey, pay attention. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's chronic pain, which I know is a little bit more complex.
Right. Chronic pain is that pain that hangs around for longer than 3 months. And often, it's tied to ongoing conditions like arthritis or, other things like that.
Yeah.
And then you've got neuropathic pain, which is caused by nerve damage. And then inflammatory pain, which is driven by, inflammation in the body.
Okay, so it sounds like understanding what kind of pain you're dealing with is like the first step in figuring out how to approach it holistically.
Exactly.
It's like choosing the right tool for the job, right?
Absolutely. Speaking of tools, one of the things that really caught my eye was just how powerful the mind can be
Yeah.
in managing pain. And I know that, we were talking about meditation and mindfulness. Is that stuff for real or is it just hype?
I mean, there's actually solid science behind it,
Uh-huh.
Meditation, especially mindfulness, can actually change how your brain processes pain signals. And it's not about ignoring the pain. It's more about shifting your focus and calming your nervous system.
So I was reading about how mindfulness meditation can actually reduce activity in the parts of the brain associated with pain,
Right.
which I think is so fascinating. It's like you're training your brain
You are.
to react differently.
Exactly. It's not just wishful thinking. It's about rewiring those neural pathways. And there are, the different types of meditation too.
Yeah.
You've got guided meditation, body scan meditation, where you focus on each part of your body.
Yeah.
They all can help you become more aware of sensation without judgment.
Okay, so that's meditation. What about things like yoga and Tai Chi? Those have always seemed, a little bit too zen for me.
Right.
But I know people swear by them for pain relief. I mean, are they worth exploring?
They absolutely are. Because what they do is they combine movement, breath work, and a meditative element all together.
Okay.
So yoga, for instance, can really help with flexibility and strength, which is key, if you're dealing with pain, especially back pain.
I was reading that even gentle yoga can reduce inflammation and improve mobility.
Right, exactly.
And with Tai Chi, it's all about like those flowing movements. And I could see how that could help with balance and coordination too.
Exactly. And don't forget about biofeedback. That one always blows my mind. You're basically learning to control your body's responses by monitoring things like heart rate and muscle tension.
Yeah. I read that some people use biofeedback to manage migraines and even like irritable bowel syndrome. It seems like you're taking control back from your pain, which is empowering. Yeah. So we've got all these cool mind-body techniques, but what about natural remedies? I know you were like a wealth of knowledge when it comes to herbs and stuff.
Well, first of all, remember that herbs have been used for pain relief for centuries. So it's not some new fad, right?
Yeah.
Turmeric, for instance, is having a moment, but it's been used in Ayurvedic medicine for ages.
Yeah.
And it's the curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric, that's getting all the attention.
Right. And I was reading about how curcumin can actually block certain enzymes that contribute to inflammation. So it's like nature's ibuprofen.
It is.
And then there's ginger, which seems to be good for everything.
Ginger is fantastic, especially for muscle pain and nausea. It's a warming herb, so it can increase circulation. And then you've probably heard of willow bark, which is basically nature's aspirin.
Oh, yeah.
It contains salicin, which is very similar to the active ingredient in aspirin.
And what about boswellia? I think I saw that in one of the articles that you had sent.
Boswellia is great for joint pain, so it's often used for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. It's been shown to reduce inflammation and improve mobility.
Wow. So many options.
Yeah.
And we haven't even touched on essential oils,
I know.
which I have to admit I'm kind of obsessed with.
Yeah.
Can you actually use those for pain relief, or is that just aromatherapy hype?
They're not a cure-all, but they can definitely be helpful.
Okay.
Lavender, for instance, can be very calming and ease tension headaches. Peppermint oil can soothe sore muscles. Eucalyptus can open up your airways if you're feeling congested.
It's about finding the right scent for the right issue. I was reading about how some people use clove oil for toothaches,
Yeah.
which sounds kind of intense,
It does.
but intriguing at the same time.
Well, clove oil has numbing properties, so it's actually been used in dentistry for ages.
Oh, wow.
But like any essential oil, you want to use it carefully and dilute it properly.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask about acupuncture. I'm intrigued by it, but those needles, I don't know if I'm brave enough.
Acupuncture and its cousin acupressure are both based on traditional Chinese medicine, and they work with the body's energy meridians. So acupuncture uses needles, while acupressure uses finger pressure to stimulate specific points and get energy flowing properly. And it can be surprisingly effective for all sorts of pain.
So you're basically tapping into the body's own healing system.
You are, yeah.
And I was reading about how acupuncture can trigger the release of endorphins,
Absolutely.
like those natural painkillers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. And it's not just about pain relief either. It can help with everything from stress reduction to sleep improvement.
Okay, so we've talked about mind-body techniques and natural remedies,
Yeah,
but I'm starting to realize that what you eat probably plays a huge role in managing pain too, right?
absolutely. There's a reason we hear so much about anti-inflammatory diets these days. What you put into your body can either fuel inflammation or fight it.
Okay, we're back and ready to dive into part 2 of our deep dive into holistic pain management. We've covered a lot of ground already, but I'm really eager to kind of get even more practical. Like, how do we actually apply all this amazing information to our lives, especially when, we're dealing with pain in the moment?
You're right. It's all about, making this knowledge actionable. So let's start with meditation.
Okay.
One of the simplest techniques, and honestly one of the most powerful, is mindful breathing.
Okay.
You can do this anywhere, anytime.
Uh-huh.
Just find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on your breath.
It seems almost too simple.
I know.
But I remember reading about a study where mindful breathing actually helped people manage chronic back pain.
Great.
Like something about how it calms the nervous system.
It does. It's like hitting the pause button on your stress response.
Yeah.
And as you practice, you might find that you can use mindful breathing to cope with pain flares too.
Okay, so that's breathing. What about those specific meditation techniques we talked about before, like body scan meditation? Do walk us through that.
Absolutely. So imagine you're lying down. And you're slowly bringing your attention to each part of your body from your toes to the top of your head.
Yeah.
You're not trying to change anything, just noticing the sensations. It's amazing how much tension we hold without even realizing it.
Yeah, I tried that once and I was so surprised by how much I was clenching my jaw.
Right.
It's like becoming more aware of your body can help you release some of that pent-up stress that might be contributing to your pain.
Absolutely. And remember, there are tons of guided meditations available online and through apps.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this alone.
Good point. Now let's move on to yoga. I'm definitely feeling inspired to dust off my yoga mat after hearing you talk about it. Are there specific poses that are particularly helpful for pain relief?
Oh, absolutely. So child's pose is a great one for gentle back stretches, and it can also be very calming. Then you've got cat-cow pose, which is amazing for spinal mobility.
Okay.
And of course, downward facing dog is a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
It stretches the hamstrings, calves, and even your shoulders.
Okay, so we've got gentle stretches. What about strength building? I was reading that core strength is really important for back pain.
It is.
Is that something you can work on with yoga?
Definitely. So plank pose is fantastic for core strength.
Okay.
And there are variations you can do to make it more or less accessible depending on, your fitness level. And then poses like Warrior 2 and Triangle Pose work those leg muscles, which can help with stability and balance, which again takes pressure off your back.
Okay, I'm taking notes. Now let's talk about those amazing natural remedies.
Yeah.
I have to confess I'm already a huge fan of essential oils.
Me too.
But I'm curious, what are some of your go-to herbs and oils for pain relief?
Well, turmeric is always a good place to start.
Okay.
You can add it to smoothies, curries, or even just take it in supplement form.
Yeah.
But remember, consistency is key.
I actually started adding turmeric to my golden milk lattes, and I swear it's helping with my joint pain.
That's awesome. And if you're dealing with muscle soreness, ginger is your best friend.
Okay.
You can make ginger tea or even try a ginger compress. Just soak a cloth in warm ginger tea and apply it to the sore area.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What about essential oils? Do you have any favorites for pain?
Lavender is always my go-to for headaches and tension. You can diffuse it, add it to a bath, or even just put a drop on your temples.
Yeah.
For muscle aches, try peppermint oil diluted in a carrier oil, like coconut oil.
Okay.
It has this cooling effect that can be really soothing.
I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it. Now let's talk about food. I know we touched on the anti-inflammatory diet, but I'm wondering if you have any specific meal ideas or recipes that you recommend.
Oh, absolutely. For breakfast, I love smoothies packed with greens, berries, and maybe some flaxseed or chia seeds for those omega-3s. For lunch, big, colorful salads are always a winner. Load them up with veggies, lean protein, and healthy fats like avocado or olive oil.
Those sound delicious. What about dinner?
I'm a huge fan of stir fries. You can pack them with veggies, tofu, or tempeh, and flavorful spices like ginger and turmeric.
Yeah.
And if you're craving comfort food, soups are amazing. Just make sure you're using a bone broth or vegetable broth base and load them up with anti-inflammatory ingredients.
Okay, I'm getting hungry. What about snacks? Are there any go-to anti-inflammatory snacks that you recommend?
Definitely. A handful of almonds or walnuts is a great option. They're packed with healthy fats and protein.
Okay.
You could also do sliced veggies with hummus or even a piece of fruit with some nut butter.
Those are all great ideas. So we've covered meditation, yoga, natural remedies, and nutrition. Let's talk more about lifestyle changes, particularly exercise. I know you mentioned low-impact activities, but are there any specific exercises that people with chronic pain should try?
Swimming is always a fantastic option because it's so gentle on the joints.
Yeah.
Water aerobics is another great one. Walking is also accessible to almost everyone, and you can adapt the intensity to your fitness level.
Right. Yeah. I've also heard that foam rolling can be beneficial for pain relief. That's something you recommend?
It absolutely can be. Foam rolling is a form of self-massage that can help release muscle tension and improve flexibility.
Uh-huh.
You can use a foam roller on your back, legs, glutes. It's amazing for those tight spots.
Okay. I'm adding that to my routine. Now, let's talk about sleep.
Yeah.
What are some specific strategies for improving sleep quality, especially for those who are struggling with pain?
One of the most important things is to establish a consistent sleep schedule.
Right.
Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
Yeah.
It helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
I know that's important, but I struggle with that.
It's hard.
What about the actual bedroom environment? Does that play a role?
It definitely does.
Okay.
Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool.
Okay.
Consider blackout curtains, earplugs, and a fan if you need to.
Yeah.
And invest in a good mattress and pillow.
I can't believe I haven't invested in a better pillow yet. Okay, what about stress? I know that stress can make pain worse.
Oh, yeah.
How can we manage stress effectively?
Deep breathing exercises can be incredibly helpful for calming your nervous system. Progressive muscle relaxation is another great technique where you tense and release different muscle groups in your body.
I've heard of that, but I've never actually tried it.
It's surprisingly effective. You can find guided scripts online or through apps. And don't underestimate the power of spending time in nature.
Yeah.
Even a short walk in the park can do wonders for your stress levels.
Okay, so we've got breathing exercises, muscle relaxation, and nature walks. What about things like journaling or creative expression? Can those help with stress management?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Journaling can be a great way to process emotions and get things off your chest. And creative outlets like painting, drawing, or playing music can be incredibly therapeutic.
Yeah.
Find something you enjoy and that helps you relax.
This is all so helpful. I'm feeling really empowered to take charge of my pain management and try some of these techniques. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into holistic pain management. I'm ready to explore some of those more advanced techniques you mentioned. I feel like we've already covered so much ground, but I know there's even more to discover.
You're right, there's always more to learn. We've talked about the mind-body connection, natural remedies, nutrition, and lifestyle changes. Now let's venture into some lesser known but equally powerful approaches.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's first on the list?
Let's talk about affirmations.
Affirmations. I've heard of those, but I always thought they were a bit too woo-woo for me. Do they really work?
They can be surprisingly powerful, especially when used consistently. The basic idea is that you're using positive statements to reprogram your subconscious mind and shift your beliefs.
So it's about changing your mindset. I can see how that could be helpful for pain management, because if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts about your pain, it's probably going to make it feel worse.
Exactly. It's about breaking those negative thought patterns and replacing them with more positive and empowering ones.
So what are some examples of affirmations that people could use for pain management?
Well, instead of thinking I'm always in pain, you might affirm I am healing and getting stronger every day. Or instead of this pain will never go away, you might say I am open to new possibilities for healing.
I love that. It's like retraining your brain to focus on the positive. What are some tips for using affirmations effectively?
First, choose affirmations that resonate with you personally. Don't just pick random ones from a book. They need to feel authentic to you. Then write them down and repeat them regularly, ideally several times a day.
So it's about repetition and consistency. I can see how that can help those positive thoughts really sink in.
Exactly. And it's important to really engage with the affirmations. Don't just say them mindlessly. Feel them, believe them.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that. What else is on the list of advanced techniques?
Let's explore energy healing.
Energy healing. That one always seemed a bit mysterious to me. What exactly is it?
It encompasses a wide range of practices that work with the body's subtle energy systems to promote balance, healing, and well-being.
So it's about tapping into the body's energy field.
Exactly. The idea is that we have an energy field that surrounds and permeates our physical bodies. And when this energy field is blocked or out of balance, it can manifest as physical or emotional disharmony, including pain.
So energy healing aims to clear those blockages and restore balance. What are some examples of energy healing practices?
Reiki is a popular one. It involves the practitioner gently placing their hands on or slightly above the recipient's body to channel energy and promote healing.
I've heard of Reiki, but I've never tried it. Is this something you recommend?
I encourage you to explore it if you're curious. It's a gentle and non-invasive practice that can be incredibly relaxing and beneficial.
Okay, I'll add that to my list. What other energy healing modalities are there?
Well, there's acupuncture, which we talked about before, and it's considered a form of energy healing because it works with the body's meridians. There's also Qigong, therapeutic touch, and sound healing.
Wow, so many options. It's fascinating to think about all the different ways we can approach pain management. It's not just about treating the symptoms, it's about addressing the root causes and supporting the body's natural healing abilities.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of holistic pain management. It empowers you to take an active role in your well-being.
I love that. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Remember that pain is a complex experience, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Explore different approaches, be patient with yourself, and trust your body's innate ability to heal.
Those are such wise words. This deep dive has been incredibly insightful and empowering. I'm so grateful for your expertise.
It's been my pleasure. I wish you all the best on your pain management journey.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you some new tools and perspectives to help you navigate your own pain management journey. Remember, there is hope, there is healing, and there is a path to a more vibrant and pain-free life. Until next time, stay curious, friends, and keep those brains engaged.